I want to talk about this morning about the NHS and the amount of essays that happens in the NHS on patients, because I've come across a couple of stories this morning and no one seems to really talk about this. So I want to bring this out and more open so more people can talk about it, because the NHS and the hospitals, they're not all fantastic that we're made to believe. There is a dark side to it, and I'm going to go into this with you right now. I've come across this lady called Michelle on another platform, and she's talking about her experience in this. Now, the story I'm going to tell you that Michelle is telling happened at Pinderfield's NHS hospital in Wakefield. Now, she only went into the A&E because she had a fall and injured herself. She has now been left with lifelong serious injuries. She woke up in the middle of the night. One night she was woken up, she was injected, she was drugged, and then she was violently raped. Now, this is absolutely disgusting that you put your trust in the NHS hospitals and this is what happens to you in your own hospital bed. Absolutely disgraceful. But it gets worse for Michelle, because it took the Yorkshire police 9 months to investigate this. And then it was a bodged investigation. And in the meantime, 8 more people had been raped by this same hospital, and no one has been charged. So this has just been one big cover up at that hospital. The management have covered up hospital records, pieces of paper have gone missing. Of course they have, because this is what they do. And it's the whole system is shocking, and they've lied and covered each other's backs. So this lady, Michelle, has not got justice, and neither have the other patients for these disgusting crimes. But before I go, I want to throw a few statistics at you so you're aware of how this is going. Over a 3-year period in England, there was 590 sexual incidents with staff on patients, and this was from 2022 to 2025. Now, you might think, oh, that's quite low, the amount of people that are in hospital. No, there shouldn't be any. This is absolutely shocking, and it gets even more shocking the next figure that I give you. In the same period, there was nearly 50,000 sexual incidents, and that was staff on staff, staff on patients, and patients on staff. So what this data isn't showing is if it's male or female doing these offences, and the ratio to each. I do not know. That doesn't show. All I would say is the CQC needs to investigate hospitals a lot more thoroughly. People entering the NHS to work need to be thoroughly checked, and keep getting checks on them. And these side rooms off wards, while they're all good for privacy to recover, if you've got infections, etc., etc., I do not believe one person should be allowed in there. It should be 2 people at all times. It should not be just one nurse, one doctor, one cleaner, whatever you're doing in that hospital, work-wise. You shouldn't be allowed in a side room with a patient on their own. It should be 2 people minimum. And this, like I said, I'm not medically trained. I do not sit and think about these things thoroughly about what can be done, because that's not my job. But the board of management at these hospitals and the CQC, that is their job to sit and think about these things thoroughly. My last bit of talk that I want to talk about is carry a grape alarm everywhere with you. Even into hospital, take it with you, because that is a stage that we're getting at in this country with NHS hospitals. We have to protect ourselves. Take that alarm, especially if you're in a side room. Keep hold of it. You never know when you may need it. It's better to be safe than sorry. And I'm going to leave it there, because there's lots more to say on this, and there's probably lots more research to do on as well, because these stories are popping up all the time. I mean, I've seen 2 or 3 more stories now this morning, which I'm going to look into. But we need to talk about this more because it's not talked about enough. And why it's not talked about enough? Because it gets covered up. It's hush hush. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to talk about medical records going missing. No one wants to talk about anything because it's the NHS. But we need to talk about this more, because the more we stay silent, the bigger those figures are going to get and the more victims we are going to have.